Hello everyone and welcome to another video, and this video is meant to be a bit of a wrap up. And what is it a wrap up to? Well, it is a wrap up to our auction house series, and we're keeping Rico on screen because Rico's animation is absolutely adorable. But I want to talk a little bit about the Super TMR list. Now, obviously, I don't feel I need to talk about the limited time Super TMRs. Limited time Super TMRs are very, very powerful because it's kind of just really hard to get them. Thinking back to Arngrim was definitely one of the ones that is probably the most powerful in the game. But keeping limited time Super TMRs off the list was important to me because I really don't want to have that feeling of people seeing the list and realizing, well, I just can't get that. That's kind of negative. And to be fair, we should be focusing more on what everyone can get rather than what is just limited. And there really aren't enough limited time Super TMRs yet to really make a good list out of. So I really didn't want to do that. Now, obviously, there's been a particular unit that has come out on the Japanese side, which was not qualified for the list, and that would be Axstar. Now, Axstar, his Super DMR is a big deal. It's the first dual-hand katana. It's 180 attack. It's got some nice variants on it, but even seeing it now, I still wouldn't put it on the list. You know, Cloud's Super TMR is the other TMR that kind of exactly resembles this, in that, you know, what its stats are and what it was. It's a really powerful Super TMR, but again, it's not something that really jumped out to me as being anything special, other than just being high attack, true dual hand, and great for its class, but not really great for everyone. I tried to focus on a lot of different things instead of just a few. Now, speaking of, you know, a lot of different things, something that someone noticed is that I left Queen's Super TMR off the list this time. And Queen's Super TMR is definitely good. Like a 55 attack and with guts accessories is very, very strong. I see it on whale builds a lot of the time because it's a 55 attack accessory. But with that being said, with the inclusion of Flamey's TMR, which if you don't know what it is, I'll just head right over. It's something that I pretty much use in basically all of my builds. Flamey, where are you? Now, Flamey's TMR is basically a 50 attack, 20% HP, and even Arngrim, and I know both of them are limited, but it does exist in the game, Dash's earrings, and there are like really good sources of attack already on accessories. So the extra 5 that's on maybe over some accessories, or 10, it is nice. It is great. It does make your units, you know, stronger. But with the inclusion of Axstar into the game, as well as Satan and a whole bunch of units that are getting higher and higher base attacks, it's easier to get the 2650 attack parameter mission now than it ever has been. And with that being said, it kind of devalues how much you really need that 55 attack accessory. I'm pretty sure that you can get 2650 with just a Dash's earrings, one of the TMR from Axstar himself. You can get to 2650, I think, a lot easier. And as for guts, there are materias in the game. There is a materia in the game that gives guts off of HP, and you know, some units like Sephiroth already have guts. So when I was considering about putting Queen's Super TMR on the list, I think it's lost a lot of value. It's still really good if you get it. Every Super TMR is really good, but it's not as valuable as it used to be because of the new stuff that has been added to the game, and the way that units are changing in the game too. Now, a Super TMR that I actually considered putting on the list, but I didn't, was probably CG Nickel. CG Nickel's staff at first, I had some debating about it, and the real reason I didn't is because summons just aren't in a great state in the game. Nobody really uses summons to beat trials unless it's necessary, and summon damage just doesn't feel that good right now compared to what both physical and magical characters are able to output. Summons just look really, really mediocre, and the only thing that summons are kind of boiling down to are challenge missions, which is a thing, and it's fine, I guess, but it's a little disappointing that that's all they're building up to. But if there was a Super TMR that I really like, it is CG Nichols. And I don't have 7-star CG Nichols, so I can't show it off. But the extra % damage off of Leviathan Summon is something that's really cool, and really made me consider putting it on the list, but I kept it off the list because, it felt, like summons still aren't really in a good enough position, and I'm not really sure what's going on, because we haven't had a new summon or a summon update recently, and with the increased damage from just regular characters, summon characters just, there used to be a time when you could rely on summons to do just a massive amount of damage very quickly, and now they don't, and summons just aren't part of the conversation really anymore, except for, well, I had to do this trial and beat it with a summon, otherwise I wouldn't have gotten that reward. So, honestly, summons feel more like a restriction and a punishment lately, and that's why I kept that off the list. Now, anything else that I really wanted to talk about? Not overly. I think that, in general, I'm pretty happy with the Super TMR list as it is. REMS just kind of feels incredibly strong. I think there might have been some people who didn't like Renoa's Super TMR being on the list, but Renoa's is just such good. It's basically a better version of Ribbon, a really better version of Ribbon, with some really nice elemental resistance. And just taking a look through, the 7-star list of characters, they're like, in general, there are a lot of amazing Super TMRs that are really just great if you can get. Like, any Super TMR is fantastic if you can get it, because, it really is just an amazing piece of equipment or an amazing accessory. But in general, I don't think that there's anything I would really want to change, and I pretty much stand by the list I came up with. I don't even really need to feel like I validated it, but hey, new video, something interesting to talk about. And yeah, we'll be moving on from this Super TMR conversation and into favorite units next. So look forward to that in the coming month of August. So thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video. Also, probably should have put some music in here, but serious video, no music.